I actually have two guests with me this morning, Reverend Root and, of course, Miss Anderson. How are the two of you?
I'm doing great.
Good. We're talking about hospice, and typically we usually have Pat King with us, but she thought it'd be great to send some different folks up here as we talk about the hospice here in Athens, which is a nonprofit, and they're just a great organization.
They really are. I've been volunteering there, I guess, about 4 years, and it's the first hospice I've had any experience with, but those ladies just go about their work with so much heart and so much care, and even though they do this work day in and day out, it's still just new and fresh. They have a fresh heart for the work they do.
You saying you were a volunteer, I'm always, because when you see the ladies and gentlemen come in that work with hospice, I always wondered personally, how can you do that? Because you just fall in love with people, and then when, some of them don't make it, and it's just so heartbreaking. You have a big heart yourself.
Well, and that was one thing about hospice. I had always said, oh, that's too hard, I could never volunteer to do that kind of work. But then, once you try and you get in there and try to do some of the volunteering, it really is such a privilege to be invited into such intimate space with folks when they're going through some of the hardest times in their lives, and so it's a gift.
And that has, and not only a gift, but what a unselfish thing for you to do as well, because you're allowing yourself to go through some heartaches as well, and learn to love someone that may not be here, and just what a valuable lesson.
Well, I tell you what, there are so many volunteers there who do so much work, and some of it's direct patient volunteer, and then some of it is answering the phones and working for Chili Challenge and Camp Hope and some of those kinds of things. And
Camp Hope, what a wonderful thing too. Not too long ago, hospice was in the Who's Who magazine, and I got to go out and meet some of the children that, and children focus on death so much different, and you wouldn't think that you have to take a whole different approach, and they're really wonderful the way they work with the children as well.
Yes, and besides that, we have a special, I'm a retired Army chaplain, and we have a special program where we give a certificate to our veterans.
Great.
And Bill Richardson has this Jeep from Korean War that he's restored, and we go out and we ride around and come up to someone's house, and they look through the window and they see us, and it brings back memories, and they really appreciate that recognition.
Good memories, they do. And that's something we do fail to recognize our vets, and we should. I mean, what a tremendous gift, joy, everything they did for us, fight for our freedom. And Pearl Harbor Day being today too, so definitely keep them all in your prayers. Talking about hospice, some things that we did not know. There are a lot of hospice organizations out there. Some are for profit. Some are not. The one here in Athens is a nonprofit, and I just urge you to check into that prior to using their services. We have to keep them going. We need to support them. And the Chili Challenge being their only fundraiser, we cover that every year for them, and that's a great thing.
It is always such a great event, and everyone comes out from the community and helps with that. And I really think Hospice of Limestone County, it was started in '88, and it was started because people in this community, the community leaders said, we want a hospice that's local, a hospice that is nonprofit, and we want to serve the community. And so what better place to volunteer your time and your services?
And who can take care of best your people here is the people here. So
you're right.
That's right. Your neighbors and
your neighbors,
your community.
And you guys being able to volunteer like that, what is the biggest thing? Because I know when we had hospice in our own family members, and then Jamie's mother recently passed away, I noticed the hospice women even come to the funeral. They go back and they visit the family after the fact, and that was just huge for my father-in-law.
I just helped conduct a funeral on Friday, and there were several hospice ladies, Pat King and others that were there giving support. And that's still part of the hospice program, is the bereavement time after the loved one has passed away, support to the family. At our church, we have a hospice support group once a month for those who have lost a loved one.
And that is so important because, you know, what we're finding out now in our own personal experiences, now that the funeral's over, now that everybody's come with all kind of food and, you know, coming to visit for the couple days after the fact, well, now everything's settled.
And people don't show up during those days. That's when it really hits you, too, that you know, I've lost this person, and what do I do now with that grief? And they have wonderful bereavement programs there with hospice, and that benefits folks who were served by hospice or folks who weren't served by hospice. If there was an accident and you suddenly lost a loved one, those bereavement groups are still open to folks in that situation as well. So.
Good to know. I did not know that. So if you did not use hospice for that family member that you lost, you can still use hospice for the after the bereavement period. Good to know. That's a great thing. One thing else you can think of we need to tell people, Pat King is such a hard-working, all the ladies there are.
Yeah. I tell you what, the most impressive thing about Hospice of Limestone County is the staff that they have. Some of the folks that have been working there have been working for years, and they go about their job with such love and care. If you had someone who needed hospice care, they are definitely the folks that you would want to be caring for them. And so I just can't say enough good things about the staff.
If you added up all the years of experience I think the staff has, it would be like 300, 400 years of experience. And then if you take all the volunteers,
oh my goodness, I couldn't even count how many volunteers it takes for the Chili Challenge, and that's just something totally separate.
I think it's 200 volunteers for that and 100 for Camp Hope. And if everybody does a little, then we can really support these ladies in their work, and it's such important work.
And men too.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we always say ladies, we always say caregivers.
Most of the staff are female, but there are a lot of men who volunteer, and I thank you for saying that. Absolutely.
We do. Now, if there's anyone watching this morning and they're interested in being a volunteer, maybe it's just an hour a week, or, you know, I'm sure they will find a place for you. Whatever you can do, just contact Hospice in Athens, and if you need that number or the website or anything, I'll be happy to forward that along to you. Thank you both for being with us this morning.
Well, thank you so very much.
You are welcome. You're welcome. And you got to experience Jamie being nice to another team. It must be all the reverends and the preachers in here today. That could be it. All right, thank you so much. We are going to take a break. When we get back, of course, Dusty's here, and I don't know, he'll be talking about Alabama football, I'm sure, and I'm going to be talking with Paula with the library as well. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.